hands of 69 Darren Howe, who is a helicopter engineering officer and resides up at Barnsley, 35 years of age. But ultimate road grid, 91 Toby Cousins sits alongside 7. That's Mick Harding, the logistics control manager from within the RAF, who is due to retire from the RAF after 30 years of service in November. He's at the wheel of that number 7 Austin Mini, and at the back, the car that had the problems in qualifying hasn't made it out, unfortunately. Richard Hall at the wheel of the Ginetta can be removed from the grid, as was given to you earlier on, because number 45 will not start this race. The last few rows of the grid just about to come into position. Fabulous that we've had the Lancaster go over just before the RAF MSA Challenge race gets underway here at Cadwell Park, with a little bit of shuffling being done at the rear. We should see the green flag any second now. 5-second board goes up. Darren Berris in the Westfield on the front row of the grid, the V-twin of Ian Fletcher on row 2. A great start from Fletcher. Darren Berris is trying to match him as they head up towards Coppy's Corner for the first time. Westfield is just about on the nose ahead as Fletcher Hornet, so they turn into the left-hander, and it's Darren Berris that leads from Ian Fletcher in second position, and I think it might be Ken Culverwell that's come through to third.
Back into our side, the first few cars quite low, so they reappear behind the marshal's post here at Charlie's, and it is indeed the Westfield in the lead, and that strange exhaust note from 36 Ian Fletcher in second place. Then the Lotus 23 copy up to third place from fourth on the grid, and then the Peugeot, as you said, a bit of a slower start, but he'll get into his stride as the race draws into the next few laps. And then looking over to Chris Curve, it's still the pole position man Darren Berris who leads into the gooseneck for the first time, turns into the right, then the left, and down the hill into Mansfield, and he's pulling away from the yellow car of Ian Fletcher in second place, although Fletcher's much later on the brakes. And here comes the Peugeot up to, he's still in fourth place, but nearly up into third as they went into Mansfield. Look to the inside of Ken Culverwell's Lotus 23B copy Mamba, and back into your sight.
Yeah, the oil flag's still being displayed on the first racing lap. The front two having pulled away from Ken Culverwell, who's still fighting away with Simon Wing. Circuit at the moment. Darren Berris and Ian Fletcher, as they were in qualifying, were substantially quicker than anybody else out there. However, Darren Berris is on pole position by the best part of 2 3/4 seconds, as over the start-finish line comes the RAF pilot in the lead of the race, with the aircraft technician Ian Fletcher chasing him down in the second position. And it's Ken Culverwell in the Lotus 23 replica who's there in third place, head of Simon Wing in fourth position. Fifth place is the Caterham at the moment, and in fact, not the Caterham, it'll be the Locust that sits there in fifth position at the moment. And completing the top 6 is car number 33, which is Stephen Furness in the D-Type replica.
First two are through, and next up we've got 23 Ken Culverwell, and who's been caught again by the Peugeot. That's indecently quick, that car, isn't it, for a very standard-ish looking saloon. And they go up to Park Corner. He's obviously not as quick through the wooded section before they get to you, Mark, because he'd, as you said, lost quite a bit of ground. But up at this end of the circuit, Simon Wing is right on the tail of Ken Culverwell. The leaders, meantime, coming down the hill into Mansfield, they turn left, and it's still Darren Berris leading, a healthy lead over Ian Fletcher, about second or so lead. Then the battle for third place, and again Simon Wing in the Peugeot looks to the inside of Ken Culverwell in the Mamba, and they go along the bottom straight to the left hand way as they come towards you.
Yeah, in towards the bottom of the mountain. Ken Culverwell still keeping the Peugeot behind, and therefore he still occupies, albeit at the moment, the final podium place that we have. Circuit with an ever-increasing amount of daylight between himself and then that's squabble, as you say, for third and fourth place. There's a fight going on further back as well. The last place inside the top 6. Hugo Perez over the start-finish line. Still the 39-year-old Kingsley continues to lead at the wheel of the V8-powered Westfield, the V-twin Suzuki engine car of Ian Fletcher there in second position. Then Ken Culverwell, who once more pulls away from Simon Wing as they head down the start-finish straight. And the battle's certainly on for the final place inside the top 6, because the Jaguar D-Type of Stephen Furness has this time got himself ahead of the Loco Blade of Brian Watson. So the Jag D-Type up to fifth.
Yes, they'll be coming into our side shortly. The leaders have gone through about the same distance. And again, we've got this battle between the Lotus 23 copy and the Peugeot, which again, the Peugeot very quick along the straight there up towards Park. Then the very good battle, as you said, the D-type of Stephen Furness, number 33, ahead now into 5th position, ahead of Brian Watson in the low cost, and they go right into Park, and the leaders now down into the Mansfield and out of Mansfield, and second place dropped quite a way off now, so the leader in a very strong first place, looking back to the hill down to Mansfield, and again the Peugeot goes to the inside there, and
side come the race leaders as they head round through the woodland section of the circuit, still exactly as they were, with that fight still going on for 3rd and 4th position. Still the Mamba Lotus 23 in the hands of Ken Calderwell, with this 25 years of racing experience under his belt, and still being hard pressed, however, by the 34-year-old financial consultant from Grantham, number 50 Simon Wing. Stephen Furness in the Jaguar D-type, still keeping at bay Brian Watson as well. Stephen Furness, absolutely glorious in yesterday's race, and stunning today as well. Through over the start-finish line and got the front two, and last time through, Alistair, Darren Berry's pulled yet further away from Ian Fletcher to the tune of 2.6 seconds, 1 minute 40.163 now the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, certainly this side of the circuit also the stretching, and the battle for 3rd and 4th places has opened a little, with the Ken Calderwell Lotus 23 pulling away now the Peugeot on Simon Wing, then back to 5th and 6th, and it's still Stephen Furness in the D-type, but he's got Brian Watson right almost alongside him, but he drops back in as they go down the long straight. It's the D-type that's got far more top speed, and so approaches Park some 5 or 6 car lengths ahead of Brian Watson, but as they turn into Park, I suspect Watson will have braked later, will be a little bit closer. Yes, he is. We can see his Dayblow crash helmet going along the hill there, and he's Stephen Furness. The 3rd and 4th place battle coming down through the gooseneck and away towards you.
Get back into side once more. Ken Calderwell looking ever more secure, however, in that 3rd position at the moment, as up towards the braking area of the mountain they come. But it's still the Westfield that leads, the Fletcher Hornet there in 2nd place, the Mamba Lotus replica in 3rd place, the Peugeot there in 4th position, in 5th position. Variety within the RAF MSA Challenge, with 7th place being the Rover Metro of Jason Lapp, and 8th place being the Peugeot 306 Rally that's in the hands of Chris Slater in only his 5th ever race. So Chris Slater will very well indeed over the start-finish line on the front two, with the 3rd and the 4th place heading over the start-finish line this time, with Ken Calderwell just a little bit further ahead of Simon Wing. He's not massively ahead. For the moment, the Mamba seems to have the upper hand over the Peugeot.
Yes, indeed, just stretching that leader. This is one back margin car, so that won't be a problem down the straight. And the Peugeot follows him through past the back margin to get to the bottom of the dip. The leaders, meantime, are already on their way down towards Mansfield. Then we look to the right, the battle for 5th place between Stephen Furness in the D-type and Brian Watson in the low cost. And once more, Watson comes through Charlie's far quicker than Furness does, and he comes right up behind him, and then onto the drag up the hill towards Park. The helmet of Brian Watson the hill there, and catching the white D-type replica, and as they come down towards the gooseneck again, he's right behind him, but he just hasn't got the speed on the straight to get past that D-type.